All right there, guys. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the AKM podcast, what we do every Monday at 7 o'clock on this YouTube channel. I am the host, Adam, and this is Seano, who's always with me all the time on this podcast.
I'm like the troublemaker. I'm like the troublemaker. But you actually caught me off guard. I totally thought that like this was going to be the long kind of intro, or I thought it was a little bit longer than that. But yeah, I'm just kind of sharing about the place that our stream, and make sure, guys, that you like, subscribe, and share. Anyone that you know that is a fellow red, get them to subscribe to the channel and get involved in proper debating and sharing your opinions, where you're not told that you're this, you're that, or whatever. There's no toxicity. AKM
No,
LFC is where it's at.
no, not at all, guys. Everyone is willing to speak their mind, can speak their mind on here, even if I don't necessarily agree or anything like that. I'm open to anybody speaking and stuff like that. So yeah, first and foremost, guys, a couple of things for the channel. There's a couple of videos up for you now. Mamadashvili and Connor Bradley. The Mamadashvili want to go into a comparison between the three goalkeepers of him, Ali, and Kelleher. Have a look at his comparisons as well for his first 4 years at Valencia. Well, season, shall we say, because I think he joined like halfway through 1 year. And he has, spoiler alert, he has regressed this season compared to last year, which was his best year so far at Valencia. But go have a look, tell me what you think about that. And then the Conor Bradley one is just basically about the new contracts that he's allegedly going to be offered. So yeah, it's just an update on that. Before we go any further though, guys, as well, we do have to mention something. So Martin, who is also a part of the AKM LFC family and the channel and everything like that, he's set up a GoFundMe for his boy. I won't go into too much detail because I feel like I'll just butcher it if I start trying to explain it all. But his son needs to have like a private assessment, and he needs basically to raise money, well, to pay for it himself privately, because the wait time for the NHS is going to be way too long or whatever. So he's going private with it, and he just, he's asked if we can help out, and he's set up a GoFundMe for that. So I will share the link in the chat, and it will also be on the bottom of the podcast the whole time, guys. Even, anything, if you can do anything to contribute towards what he needs, and the full story is on there as well. So, I don't want to butcher it, and Sean, I don't want to butcher it either. So,
No,
you
it's
know,
it's a horrid situation that him and his family are in, and like quite a lot of families in similar situations, there's very little support out there, and I suppose are trying to help them in the best way we can in the community that we've built up. And Martin is a brother to all of us, really. I'm very close to him and his family. They've welcomed me into his house, and I've seen their kids, and so this kid deserves a chance. And unfortunately, it's kind of been put on the hold because of the fact that this system doesn't help people when they need it. They're put on the long finger quite a lot. So that's what the GoFundMe is about. It's not about just giving people cash or anything. There's reason behind it. You may hear a dog in the background. One of my dogs just got a cyst removed close to his eye, so he's in quite considerable pain there. So my apologies.
oh, bless him. But yeah, guys, the link's in the description of the video now as well. So it's running on the bottom. It's in the chat. It's in the description. Go give it a look and read the story and let us know. Well, you don't have to let us know, but you know what I mean? Just if you can donate anything, please do. Evening, Scott. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, Ricky. Hope you're doing good as well, pal. So yeah, first and foremost, then, Sean, I've obviously done the videos about Conor Bradley and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I won't go into too much detail about it, but I want to get your thoughts on it. So we'll start off with the Conor Bradley. So what's your thoughts on him potentially being offered a extension when he, to be fair, years-wise, isn't due one just yet? But yeah, what do you think about
that? Yeah, so this is Ian Doyle from the Liverpool Echo. Sorry, did I say Fenway Echo? I don't know why I do that. But it's just kind of perfect timing, really, the news of this. And what I find a bit baffling is, okay, I mean, the player absolutely deserves a better contract and a longer contract. He's been phenomenal for the 18 months that he's come on in, and come on for the injured Trent. Now he's injured himself, so it'd be nice for a young lad like him to be given a contract that he deserves. But isn't it amazing that there's 2 years left in his contract, and yet Liverpool Football Club failed to, seal a contract with Trent, Virgil, and Salah when they had 2 years left, and that's where no one else on YouTube, none of the toe the liners, as I call them, or the top reds as they call themselves, none of them will actually mention that. It's all rainbows and ice cream with them, and God forbid if we say anything about these owners or about the contract negotiations. But it is important that we sort it out. Again, Connor is a young lad. They probably won't offer him half as much as what they would probably offer Trent.
That's interesting, to be fair. I didn't actually think about that for the video. I want to see what he's actually on now. I bet he's not on much. I bet he's on
he's probably 20 or 50,000 at the most, I think.
Let's have a look. I reckon he's on about something like that. Yeah. I don't reckon he's on 50 grand. He's on, oh my God. Sean, have a guess how much he's on.
10.
He's on 12.
12. There you go. So
I reckon he gets,
they'll give him 50.
To like 50. Yeah.
They'll give him 50.
Yeah, 100%. Got a few comments here. We've got Miscuse's with us. Miscuse, hope you're doing well, pal. Oh, you've changed your logo as well, mate, to what's on the Discord. Well done. Oh, nice one. Evening, Richard the Red. Ricky says it's making icing for a cake and then deciding to make a cake afterwards. These guys are the most backwards people on the planet.
Yeah,
100%. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. Like, it makes sense, I guess, especially if Trent's on his way, to be like, right, I don't know. This is the theory. I've just thought about this now. It's literally just a conspiracy theory, but I'm wondering if it's a case of like, right, Trent's on his way. We will bring another right back in. But Connor, we know how good you've done and how well you progressed. So here's a wage bump, but we are bringing another one in as well.
How's me hospitality with my half and half scarf, soft knees? I do have soft knees. I've never had a half scarf. So thanks, you fruit Rolo, yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Me hospitality. I think I only did hospitality once, your fruit Rolo. Yeah, I think to be honest with you, like, I'm glad that Connor, I mean, if it's true, I'd be delighted. Absolutely delighted if he does get a contract,
No, yeah.
But we'll soon find out. You saw me singing Everton songs, yeah?
Oh, God. Oh, well. I think that's the first time I've had something like that on chat. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah. You can stay there, mate. It's funny to watch.
What was that?
So, yeah, Conor Bradley, I think that's a good idea to get him signed up. As I say, potentially just the best. I thought of it now. Maybe they are thinking about bringing another right back in. I don't know. I hope not. I hope Conor gets the chance to go for it and be the main person that's, to solid, keep hold of that right back position. But we'll have to wait and see. So what are your thoughts on the Mamadashvili thing then, mate, as well?
You've made, that's a great video. I don't know whether anyone has seen it yet, but it's a great video with all the comparisons of the stats and what have you. Look, I mean, signing any player is a gamble. Signing a new player is a gamble. I still would have to agree with Tony Steele that was one of our one of our subscribers who left a comment. I reckon that I don't understand why we got Kelleher, or why we went for Mohamed Ashvili when we have Kelleher.
I agree.
I think that, Kelleher would have been a worthy number one. I think Kelleher is probably a little upset and hurt by the fact that he's not been given that.
100%. 100%.
If Allison is leaving, obviously we don't want to see Allison leave at all, but I wouldn't expect Mohamed Ashvili to say anything else. He's hardly going to say, I'm joining I'm joining Liverpool to stay on the bench.
What do you? I mean, like, I think the telling thing for me is that he turned around and said, allegedly to one of the players that played for Barcelona, that the only reason why he stayed at Valencia was because Alisson was basically obviously still at Liverpool. I mean, I'm not going to say that Liverpool have promised him like, we will move on from Alisson next year or whatever, but he must have been given some sort of a, you can come in next year and we're going to maybe bench Alisson or whatever. Something had to have been said to him for him to want to agree to come to the club in the first place. Do you know what I mean? But
you see, I'm a little bit worried. I mean, is this one of these Richard Hughes signings that Slot didn't have a choice in? Do you know what I mean? Because Chiesa is Richard Hughes signing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're gonna have to. Things with that though, we're gonna have to just grin and bear it. Unfortunately, I mean, it just is how things run at Liverpool right now. It's not what we all agree with and everything like that, but it's back to what it was before Klopp started being successful, isn't it? So, I don't know, mate.
I'm getting some fans here today. Your Fruit Rolo says, I seen you singing Blue and White Shite against Man United. I thought I was an Everton fan a second ago. At least be consistent.
Can't make it up. Can't make his mind up.
No.
Don't worry about it. So yeah, I guess that's the Mohamed Ashvili thing as well then, pal, to be fair. I mean, it was to be expected, wasn't it? Regarding him coming in, and you don't go out there and sign a player and spend that sort of money on somebody. And then, I mean, I think one they're supposed to send him out to Bournemouth, allegedly, apparently. They wanted to do that first, didn't they? But that didn't go down too well. Like, he wanted to stay at Valencia or something like that. Or maybe the paperwork got caught up or something. I'm not too sure what happened, but that didn't. It would have been good to see him in the Premier League this year, though, to be fair. I would have preferred that.
Well, apparently we didn't we didn't hand over any money this summer or last summer. So to me, that's like, well, okay. I think that's an excuse, to be honest with you. But I don't really, as I said, I don't really get the fact that we bought this guy in. Obviously, the stats would kind of show that he's not as good a goalkeeper as Kelleher and Alisson. But then again, it's the style of football and also the team that, is in front of him.
Yeah. I do agree with what Scott said here, that Mohamed Ashvili needs to earn his place next season and not just be given it on a plate. I agree with that. I do think as well it's down to the style of play, why he is the way he is at Valencia. M87, I think they will get rid of Alisson if they are planning to spend big for next season. The wage bill will be reduced by getting rid of high earners. Good shout, mate. Good shout. Not bad. I can see that one 100%. What was I going to say now?
Miss Scoozy. Mama Fat Willie
will have to fight for his place.
Yeah, but I think that's important. I mean, no player should be guaranteed their spot. I mean, that's what happened with Yenny. What's his name? Lenny Euro. He wanted to go to United. He wanted all the trimmings. He wanted a high salary. He wanted to get starting 11. And for a young guy his age, he shouldn't really be looking for that. Mohamed Ashvili shouldn't either be looking to try and take over number one. You just shouldn't. So I think that's where I think have him as an understudy But I think Kelleher, if you have him as an understudy, that's Kelleher gone.
He ain't going to sit around, is he? So
no.
no,
I personally think it's a bit disrespectful. I really think Kelleher would have been a great number one. I mean, he's been there at the club. He's been understudy to Allison, and he's done the job each and every time we've asked him. So it's a real pity. But I think it's as Richard the Red says, I think it's down to, the wages.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like going back to when Mamadashvili was first signed, like that came as a massive shock to me. Did that? Like, I don't want to lie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I was, I was like, so we're talking about signing a number 6, and then legitimately, like, we just went and signed this guy. What would we have done if we did sell Kelleher last summer? If someone just came in and was like, right, you want 30 million for Kelleher, right, we'll give you 30 million for him. Would we have just been like Alisson and Jaros, and then Jaros would have been in net when Alisson got injured again?
I think Jaros, I think it would be, even in Tony. Tony says, I'm confused by the goalkeeper signing. So Edwards must have already got his mind on a number 1 and 2. Slot just accepts this. Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. Scott says Kelleher is proven again and again he can play right at the top level. Whoever gets him will have a serious goalkeeper on their hands. Mama likes with, but yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. I would have had Kelleher as coming in, taking over from Madison. I don't think Varus or Jairus or whatever his name is, I don't think he would be able to take on the role and be as effective as Kelleher.
Do you know what it stinks of to me? And I said this in my video as well, I think. It's Mingale and Pepe Reina all over again.
Yeah.
Where we had Pepe Reina. I don't really think there was much need to upgrade on the position, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
But we did. And then Pepe was obviously sat on the bench and he was earning a high wage, and that is just not going to be allowed under FSG. So that's what I think. I think, yeah, I won't be surprised if Ali goes. You probably get about 50, 60 million for him. You probably get about, do you know what? With Kelleher being last year of his deal and this is the last transfer window, you can sell him. If you get 20 million for him, I think you're laughing.
I think that would be dirt cheap for a goalkeeper like that. I really do.
Uncle Dave. All right, mate. I've not seen you for a while.
Dave.
Alisson, I expect, has told the club he wants to leave at the end of the season, hence the delay with Mama, and Kelleher will also leave. There might be something in that, to be fair, because I mentioned it in that video where Alisson did like an interview not long after the transfer window closed, and he mentioned that he will stay at Liverpool as long as the club want him there, but he would be up for a move to Saudi Arabia. And I was just like, okay. So yeah, you're up for that then, I suppose. So I won't be surprised that's where he goes. And you know what, to be fair, it's probably, do you know what I mean? Go get that money. Like what's Darwin Núñez? He was like saying allegedly in January when them links came out about him. He was like saying, "Oh, imagine how much money I could get over there." Blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah. All right, though. Nice to see you again, Uncle Dave. Not seen you for a while, mate. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I guess Seano, was there any other news to talk about before we get into like the main topic? I know you wanted to talk about today.
The main topic. No, it's just like obviously it's the contract thing is a little worrying,
Actually, sorry, mate. Go on. No, go on.
It's a bittersweet thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a bittersweet thing. So, marching down Anfield Road, Callum. Is this Copway Callum? Jesus Christ, that's a big name that you've got now. PSG Wednesday. Let's get into them. 2 goalkeepers to fill Kelleher slot.
Mertz or De Gea on a free, yeah.
I wouldn't go for De Gea.
Yeah, I would. Just
No.
because of United links. He's not played football for like, what, a year or so, 2 years, which is, I reckon that's down to his wages, to be fair. The wage demands that he's after. But I'd take, if De Gea was willing to sit on the bench at Liverpool, I'd take De Gea. Yeah, 100%.
No, fuck him.
Another thing, actually, before we get into that topic, mate, I want to bring up, like the Liverpool Legends game that we're going to.
Yes.
Like how they're talking about what players are going to play and everything like that. I had a thought earlier on today. You remember when Torres played last year?
I know that you were going to say this.
And he was like, I'm going to play again. I bet he don't play this year.
Well, if he does, he better not play for Chelsea.
That's what I was going to say, because genuinely, when they do play these games, if they've played for the other team, they play for the other team for a half as well. So what do you think at Anfield? This is why I don't think it will happen. But at Anfield, if Fernando Torres played the first half for Liverpool and then played the second half for Chelsea,
he's getting booed the fuck off the pitch. There is no way. If he does that, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. All right, Frankie JD, how are you?
Yeah, I don't think Torres plays this Legends game. I think he sits this one out. Though, to be fair,
we've got crazy.
It would be pretty good if he did play and he just played the full game for Liverpool. That would be good, but I don't think he'd do that either. But yeah, M87, they will go for James Trafford. I think James Trafford is what is it? I think he's what team is it that's after him? Then they've pretty much got it signed, sealed, and delivered. Is it Newcastle? I swear he's off to Newcastle. I swear he is. All right, there, Cranky JD. Alonso's done it. Yeah, Alonso. But I'm on about like because of it being like a Chelsea thing. I don't know.
There's no way. Fernando,
no way,
if you're watching this, do not do it. If you're even contemplating on it, don't do it.
He's been thinking the same about Torres in the Legend match. He won't do it. He can't.
No, he can't do it.
Please boo Carragher if he plays. If Torres does that, I'd run on teabag him. Torres is a bodybuilder now. Yeah, honestly, when we saw Torres last year, he's fucking huge. He's massive now.
Yeah. He's like fucking Shaqiri on fucking roids. He really is. I mean, fucking hell. He's a fucking tank, so he is. Absolute tank.
Yeah, I thought it was Newcastle, Uncle Dave. I thought it was him. What's this? Richard, you'll have to help me off. It's teabagging him. Oh, God. Another quick look, see if I can just see anything else that you might, before we get into that topic.
There's a little story behind the Muscusi thing. Muscusi is from a film called Eurotrip, in which one of the actresses of Eurotrip there died recently. She was also in Buffy, so R.I.P. to that lady.
What do you think about this article that's come out now? Anthony has obviously left Man United, right? And he's gone to La Liga. And he's actually doing a lot better over there than he did at Man United. And he's actually said that in 2022, it's true that he was very close to signing for Liverpool as the Mo Salah replacement.
Yeah. I've nothing to say about that. Nothing to say about it. There is not one thing that I like about Anthony himself and his personal photographer and his stupid little twirls and his stupid celebrations and celebrating in front of a second league squad that he bet in penalties, or it was Coventry or some, I don't know who the hell it was. I don't like Anthony. I don't care about what club that he could have gone to or whatever. He's a dick. We dodged the bullet. Absolutely, Igor, Uncle Dave. Or just call you Uncle Dave.
Yeah, we did indeed. Just thought it was interesting that he's talking about that.
Oh, it's very interesting, but thank God. The dugout. Well, hey, there you are. Good evening. I'm glad we didn't sign a Brazilian midget spinner. I don't think midget that he spinner. Is... What did I say?
You said midget spinner.
And that's probably something that you could look up and probably get all sorts of shit. So sorry, I didn't midget spin. Doug, did you see recently the members draw?
Yeah, you won it, mate. If you can send me an address, pal, on X, send me your address. I'll send it out to you this week, pal.
Congratulations.
But yeah, you won the members giveaway, mate, which was, I've got it on hand actually. It's here. You won this, mate. The Cody Gakpo artwork.
Isn't that beautiful?
You won that
it's
one,
framed. Pal. You see,
yeah,
AKM LFC, the Liverpool channel that gives back.
Right then, Sean, I think I'm pretty much done with all other topics I want to talk about. Go on then, mate. I'll hand it over to you.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about what I was going to talk about, the online stuff? Yeah. I have a pain in me hoop with all of it. We should all be absolutely thrilled and delighted that Liverpool are doing so well, and number 20 is on its way home, so we can rub it into the Manx face. And unfortunately, you're getting such channels. I won't mention the names or anything like that, but he was formerly from Anfield Rap, who he did some sort of jingle or some sort of it's on the members channel, or the members part of the channel. I did a video on this, but did some sort of jingle or riddle about those who oppose these owners are more interested in a transfer window than winning the Premier League, which is utter bullshit and cod. It's stupid, it's unfounded, and it's ridiculous. And the amount of people that I've seen that I actually know of that have actually liked that and laughed at that, and then I've had a few people regurgitating the same shit that what was said in this video, and also to see Carragher, who has been fairly busy of late insulting the continent of Africa, and now insulting his fellow Reds. He's basically saying anyone that opposes these owners are cranks online. Well, they're fellow Reds. They just don't necessarily agree with your opinion, Carragher. So I really just think people would want to cop the fuck on. You go into a pub, you may have a view of a player that may not necessarily be the same as the other person that's having a pint with you. Do you go and you start calling each other cranks? We talk about divides within the fan base or toxicity online, and the people that talk about it the most, the particular individuals that I'm talking about, are the ones that are creating it. There would not be any of this toxicity. Certainly with those who oppose these owners, there would not be any of this toxicity if it hadn't been for these people on bigger platforms attacking their loyalty, attacking where they're from, attacking their religion, complete. I mean, say, where the Nets spend boys now. This utter rubbish that a fellow Red would want Liverpool to fail. That's actually been put out there, that fellow Reds want Liverpool to fail because of their view of the owners. It's complete and utter bullshit. There will be no one as happier, and I'll probably bawl my fucking head off when we win number 20, because I fucking bawled my head off when we bet Spurs in the Champions League. I bawled my fucking head off when we got number 19. And I fucking can't stand these owners. I would much prefer FSG sorted out than FSG out. I don't want the hassle of all that. But no one should ever fucking question, someone's religion, someone's loyalty to a club, whether they're born in Liverpool or not. Nobody should question how often they go to Liverpool or not. People can't afford it. There are fans that are priced out of the game. This very individual campaigned and protested against the prices of these tickets going up. So, and yet he's insulting these people He's talking about insulting fellow Reds, and yet he's calling these people absolute virgins for wanting to protest against these owners. Well, if like, you know, with the way things are at the moment, and this is such a bittersweet one, while bringing in number 20, a 20th league title, we could still lose Salah, we could still lose Virgil, and we're more than likely going to lose Trent, all on a fucking free. You're telling me that that's good business. So all I'm going to say, guys, because, you know, you're going to get some Muppets on here and Muppets targeting whoever because you voice your opinion. If you look at the top YouTube channels now, you'd be very surprised to see who's the third highest. And it's not from Liverpool. It's an Irish channel. So there is... people are starting to get sick and tired of people being led and said by these top channels, as they call themselves. People that think that they have a God-given right to, you know, dictate to how you should support your club. I guarantee you, Bill Shankly wouldn't have put up with any of this. I was only talking to a friend of mine, and, you know, he was saying what a massive influence Bill Shankly was. This guy is Irish, by the way, right? What a massive influence Bill Shankly is to my whole life, he says. And I said to him, Brian, what do you think Bill Shankly would think nowadays of football and how football has gone? And here we go, Galway Reds. So FSG have really turned the club around for the better.
But they need to spend in the transfer market.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I agree with that. Like,
that's a fair enough.
I mean, that's a great comment, is that, mate? Because I agree. Yeah. Like, FSG for me are not the best and they're not the worst owners in football right now. I think there's this stigma that comes with them that they're American after we had the Hicks and Gillette fiasco that happened with all of that. But again, most people probably won't like me saying this, but if the market didn't fall through with them, probably wouldn't have been as bad as it was. But anyway,
yeah, but
I think Salah and Van Dijk are signed up, but sticky point is Trent. Yeah, I agree with that as well, mate. But yeah, I don't think they're the best. I don't think they're the worst. But it's, for me as well, like, I'm one of those people where I'll say shit as it is. I'm quite blunt. And what Seano has just said then is I agree with every single word you've just said. Like, you are calling out people for being toxic online and for saying shit online, but then you are inciting that by doing it back. Like, it makes no fucking sense. If, like, for me, for instance, right, if I see something on here that I don't agree with, I will not sit on my computer and do a video about it, telling people that I don't agree with it, really. You know, in regards to stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't like people saying shit about my channel, right, I'm not gonna go on and make a video about people talking about my channel. I can't give a shit. You can all think what you want. Like, couldn't give a fuck, right? End of the day, we all love Liverpool, and that's the only fucking thing that matters. I couldn't give a fuck if you're FSG in, FSG fucking out. As long as you support Liverpool, I couldn't give a fuck. That's all I'm bothered about.
the one thing that has kind of gone under the radar, and I really get agitated by this. And there's some fantastic comments that come in, Ricky as well, and Muscusi and Galway Reds. Thanks for coming on. Is Galway Reds a new subscriber?
Potentially, I've not seen them before.
Yeah, Galway's a lovely county, by the way. Absolutely, an amazing city. Martin, you didn't miss much. We were just talking about the stuff online. Like the thing that's kind of gone under the radar are people going on about the atmosphere of Liverpool or of Anfield and them blaming it on tourists. Now,
right, before you go forward, let me just say this. I do agree that the atmosphere at Anfield, and I said this before, I don't know if it's the TV.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the way it's being broadcasted nowadays or what, but Anfield over the past 5 years has got quieter.
Okay.
Now, some people might come to me now and turn around and go, well, that's because you don't fucking go, blah, 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 blah. Like, you try and get a fucking ticket then, mate, yeah? Unless you've got a season ticket or whatever, you try and get a fucking ticket, right?
So that's the point that I'm making. But also the other point is...
all I want to say is that it is true that from what I can see and what I hear, that the atmosphere at Anfield has got worse.
Hello,
over
Mary.
the time.
That's Mary Nelson. Hi, everyone from Belfast. How are you, Mary? You see, the problem that you have is this. You have people saying, oh, it's down to the tourists that come in. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I was in Anfield, I don't remember ever being asked for a passport. I don't remember anyone actually checking my nationality. So the people that go around spieling that or throwing that spiel about the place, it's absolute borderline xenophobic is what it is. There is nothing to back up what they're actually saying. Nothing. And I'll tell you another thing. The last time I was over was the last European night under Klopp, where Liverpool were beaten by Atalanta, right? And if you also remember, Spine Cop 1906, the same night, decided to do a protest against the ticket prices that was supposedly backed by Spirit of Shankly, which the said person that I'm referring to with his comments about toxicity online yet adds to it, is also a member of. There was not one banner in the Cop for the first time in God knows how many years. Which, do you honestly think John W. Henry is pulling out the rest of his goddamn hair while smoking his cigar, worrying about a banner or banners in the Cop? The one banner that was up was the one that I brought, the one I made. And that was on the Annie Road. And I'll tell you, the atmosphere there was shocking. Because I saw fans leaving the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand in 80th minute, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing? Come back!" Like I was like, "Come back for fuck's sake! You're there to support the team." Now I couldn't tell you whether they were Scousers, whether they were from a different nationality or not, but I can tell you there was quite a lot of them that left. And I've seen a couple of times them doing that, watching the game on TV. So, like I said, I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's those guys from Norway, or it's those Irish guys, or it's my fellow Irish men and women that are doing that. Because I don't have the facts on that. No one can actually say that. But yet these channels are spouting that crap. And that's completely wrong. So, like I said, if someone is anti-FSG, do not for 1 minute think that they're any less or you're any more of a fan than they are. They just care so much about the goddamn club that they want to see the club to succeed. So it's not winning a transfer window. They couldn't care less about a transfer window. It's talking about fucking necessary spending. Not leaving us in the lurch, not leaving us where we're literally working our bollocks off not to get injured, not to be in a situation where we could be an injury away for an absolute disaster. Our first title defence in 30 years, and we had to play centre midfielders in the defence role. Should never have fucking happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it, where like the season before when we won the title, we broke a record for winning the title the quickest or something in the Premier League history.
Yeah.
But then the season afterwards, it's gone down as one of the worst title defenses.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Let me just catch up on some of these comments, mate.
Yeah.
While we discuss this, Martin. So Scott here, just got to respect people's opinions at the end of the day. As long as they say their point respectfully, it's sound by me. FSG in, I'll shake it all about. Exactly, mate. I can give a fuck.
Yeah.
As long as everyone's respectful, I don't care. A little bit further up, Miscusi, when we all meet up, can we rent some? Yeah, can do if you want, mate. Doug, yeah, mate. Just drop me a message and I'll get it sent out to you this week, mate. No problem. Ricky Sarr is a bully. No, Ricky Sarr is not a bully, but Gareth Roberts is a bully. Thinks he can talk to people like that. He's a piece of crap. Where would he get up to? M87 can't stand that bald person from some TV who always instigates the toxicity online. Yeah.
Is he talking about the Irish?
No, I don't think so.
Bald fella?
I'll message you all on. Is he called this? I think is that his name?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I had a run-in with him years ago.
Evening, Mary. Hope you're well. From Belfast. Gary Richards, the morons online aren't to be taken seriously. That includes me as well, Gary. Don't take me seriously. It's just a YouTube channel, mate.
But I mean, the problem is, and I mean, while Ricky has mentioned Gareth Roberts, because that's the exact person I'm talking about, and the exact person that I spoke to regarding this, and he said, well, am I to sit around and accept people superimposing pictures of my friends licking John W.'s arse? And he's talking about journalists, friends that are journalists and what have you, they're just doing their job. Okay, no one is agreeing with that sort of abuse, but that you have to accept is purely down to the fact that these people have accused those who oppose these owners as not being proper fans, as the Netspend boys, as not regular match goers, and go support a local team. These people have had an absolute enormous amount of abuse, including myself. So I know only too well about it. And I tried to speak to Gareth. I tried to talk some sense into him. And unfortunately, he didn't want to hear it. He was just full of his own whatever, and he had said something about these guys that are looking for an FSG out protests are absolute virgins, and I got it wrong that I thought he said it in the overlap, but he actually said it on Anfield Rap, which is another channel I'm not a fan of. But you'll see all of these channels are. You'll see one particular channel that has gone up in their viewers, gone up in their subscribers, and it's an Irish channel. And the further that you branch out from the, as they call themselves, the main two, the more informed you are, because you're not given this spiel. If they were open to a debate, if they were open to other sides without ridiculing, well, then they would be all the better for it.
Yeah.
It's not the Liverpool way to go insulting fellow fans, and it makes us out to be fucking mugs.
Yeah. I agree, mate. I mean, the spot, you never walk alone. It just goes out the window, does it? Anyway.
Yeah.
Gavin says, evening, guys. Sorry for joining late. Don't worry about that, mate. Just catch up, pal. Hope you're doing well, Gavin. Uncle Dave, right, so I'm going to break this down to 3 parts. FSG have built the club from the depths of administration. Agreed. The club is run with an attempt to keep the good side of financial fair play. Agreed, it is. Yes, it is. And we would all like them to see them spend more money. Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything in that. I mean, we weren't in administration. We were close to it. As people report, Sean, you know more than me about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That was well before I was even doing this type of thing. But I don't personally think Liverpool would have ever gone into administration. No. I think that's just the narrative that's been fed. Because they were other people that were trying to buy the club at the same time that had more money than FSG.
And had a better deal on the table. But someone then took it upon themselves to carry the NESV, which is what they were called, New England Sports Venture, to carry that deal over the line and push it over the line and screw the rest. That's why there was like there was a court case in the New York Supreme Court over the purchase of Liverpool Football Club. That's why all the documents and all the emails between John W. Henry, Tom Warner, Mike Gordon, all of them went out. But let me just put something very straight to you. this would never have gone into administration. What would have happened is the Royal Bank of Scotland would have taken over the club and would have foreseen any takeover bid. That's what would have happened. Now, it didn't happen. We did get Fenway Sports Group, or New England Sports Venture. They bought the club on a steal, as they said. They did the bare minimum, which was improve the asset, which is what they do. They made it from a 300 million club to a 4 or 5 billion club, while the net spend per window is less now than what it was under Gillette and Hicks. So again, nobody is playing football manager in the basement of their parents' house and hoping that football will be run like that, or a football club would be run like that. I don't necessarily give two hoots what Man City do, what Man United do, what Chelsea do. What I want to see is, if we need a player, we get the player, or we get someone that can do the job. If we don't get our main target, I'm talking about necessary spending. And for someone to turn around and say people are more interested in winning a transfer window than the Premier League, that is utter bullshit.
On that, though, before you go on any further, though, as well, on that issue regarding winning a transfer window, that's down to the media. The media hype up the transfer window so much because they know that, and you know, it's a YouTube thing as well. Like, you know, people make videos of it because they know that people are going to be like clicking on it because it's fucking news, it's new stuff. So it ain't just the fans that are fucking bothered about winning the transfer window. Them, look at Sky fucking Sports. They've got a yellow banner, yellow ties, and fucking everything for fucking deadline day. But wait, it's the fans that want to win transferred. It's all of it. It's the whole shebang. The sport is now a fucking business. Like, it's all about fucking money. It's all it's about. And another thing that ties into this whole thing as well is, I don't know if this has been reported widely yet, but I sent it to you earlier about apparently Man City will see no sanctions about these 115 charges. Now, if that's fucking legit and that goes down that way, right, I think the whole PSR, financial fair play, just falls flat on its ass. And it should just be abolished straight away, because what's the point? What's the point in having something where if someone breaks the rules, you don't do anything about it? Because they tie you up in legal fucking loopholes. There shouldn't be any loopholes to people to be tied up in.
Yeah, but what about fucking Forest and Everton that got deducted points? That could have been the end of fucking Everton, which, I mean, contrary to whatever Mr. Fruit Loops or whatever the fuck his name was. I'm not an Everton fan, thanks. But, like, you know, that could have been the end of them. Do you know what I mean? That could have relegated them. Forest, it could have relegated Forest because they were in a transition. They're doing fantastic this season. But if it hadn't been, I mean, they could have been relegated last season. The two of them could have been relegated, where if they have the money like City have, they can go off and they can, you know, and this is the thing that FSG are holding on to, is this financial fair play. And nobody is telling anybody, or nobody wants our owners, whoever they fucking are, to go and break rules and regulations. But they were fully committed to breaking one, which would have been a cardinal fucking sin, which would have been setting up the Super League, which would have had us fucking expelled out of the goddamn league altogether. So everything that we've been fighting for, everything that Klopp got, everything that we are now getting now, or up to getting now, could have been gone just like that. And these owners knew that. They knew the minute they signed for Liverpool, they had to go down through the rules and regulations of the Premier League. They knew they could not set up a breakaway league, and yet they attempted it. And regardless of their fucking fake ass apology, they still tried to attempt it without Klopp known, without the players known. So these are the owners that Garrett and all of them want to support, and that's fine. That's grand. Be that on you. Be that on your conscience. But don't turn around and tell me or tell anybody that they're not true fans, that they want to win a squabble because of the transfer market wobble. Shut the fuck up, man. It's ridiculous to carry on like that and have a platform as big as you and to go on like that and to put out that narrative, which is complete and utter bullshit. Tell me, what is the issue with Arsenal at the moment? What's the issue with City? Or not City, Arsenal and Chelsea. Anyone on the chat, and even you, Adam, want to tell me what is the issue with Chelsea at the moment and with Arsenal?
Mate, I don't know. It's just
what are they lacking at the moment?
a striker.
Right. So
Striker.
how do they get a striker, Garrett? How do they get a striker? They go to the transfer market. So if they got a striker, would they be in a better position? Well, if that striker can score some goals, absolutely. So while you want to dismiss your transfer windows and you know you're missing out the big point, the contracts. Contract of three of our most important fucking players, and you want to dismiss that.
I think, to be fair, I don't think any true Liverpool fan would dismiss the fact that Liverpool need a striker, or that Liverpool need to sort out these contracts and everything like that. I just think they become hills to die on. Do you know what I mean? FSG and FSG out, you defend it to the hill, and it's just like anything in real life. When you come down to politics, are you right, are you left, whatever, everything's just split into camps now, and there's no one that's like in the middle now. I like to think I'm in the middle, but there's no one that's like truly in the middle anymore with this type of shit. And yeah,
well, there's no balance. There's no balance. I mean, you talk about like the overlap and the fan debate. There's no debate. It's like-minded people talking about and agreeing with each other. Now, you may get a little bit different with Man United and Arsenal fans and Spurs fans, because they ask the real questions about their club, because their club are fucked up, or in a fucked up situation. So they ask the real questions. But pretty much all of them agree with each other. But that's not a debate. I mean, they have basically, I've tried to run the argument of these owners into the ground by discrediting the people that oppose these owners, or that question these owners. More importantly, question them. Question them. Imagine, I know some people, Irish people, of course, because I'm Irish, but they're the biggest Liverpool fans that you'll ever meet. So passionate. I mean, there's one particular friend of mine, and I swear to Christ, anyone that is well known in Liverpool, he knows. Right? And I know some of his mates, and they know me, whatever. And I know that one of them contacted Spirit of Shankly. I shouldn't be saying this, but I will. And mentioned their concern about the owners, and he was told, and I've no reason not to trust him, but he was told to go support a local team. Now, that's not a union that should be using the great Bill Shankly's name, and that should represent the fan base if you're telling people that. And Mary, that's a good point. Carragher is woeful. Carragher is just as bad. Carragher will say 1 minute, he was talking about the Super League, and he was talking if they upset Klopp and Klopp was to leave, they would be calling out these owners the next day. He went from that to now people online are cranks. Matt Letizia must be kind of scratching his fucking head thinking, what have I done or said or what that I got the sack and this guy is allowed fucking say what he said and God knows worse. I don't know anything about Matt Letizia and why he left. So before anyone jumps on the bandwagon, I don't know how mental his opinions were. But Carragher, you can't go and turn around and say Liverpool fans are cranks online. Because you questioned these owners not so long ago. All right, Uncle Dave. Hopefully we won't be talking about FSG for too much longer.
See you later, Uncle Dave, mate. Nice to see you again, mate.
Richard the Red thinks that I was from Scotland. No.
Let's just catch up on a few more of these comments, mate. I've got one more topic actually I want to talk about, which is I've just found it now and I've been looking for it. So Scott says the irony of these other channels talking about tourists in the atmosphere, they sit in the stands with their cameras out, just vlogging the game for a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, and can I just add to that, because one of them made a comment there when I went to the Liverpool Legends match there last year, and where were they? They were in Ireland playing a show where they were getting paid. People were paying to see them. Where I was in Anfield, and they were talking about that out of towner getting our tickets. They didn't care too much for the tickets when they were over in my country selling their show.
Tony says, guys, do you think FSG have the ambition to have Liverpool at the top and to keep them at the top? No. I think the prize money now is so close between being a champion and finishing in the top 4 or 5, whichever it is, to get into the Champions League now. It don't make that much difference. I don't think they're about winning trophies. I think they're about money. And I agree with what Gavin said. I've seen Gavin's comment further down where if this stuff happens regarding
they'll go,
Man City, I reckon you've got a timeline on FSG going, it's being cut. And also as well, when you look at Dynasty Equity that came in and bought shares last year of Liverpool, which we still need to actually see that, to be fair. It's an investment group, and the head of the Dynasty Equity is also a member of FSG. So the only reason for that investment is for them to make money back when the club is sold. So they would have only have put their money in if they knew that Liverpool was going to be sold within the next 3 to 5 years, so they can get maximum valuation for their investment, basically. So
we're lied to about that as well, Adam.
Well, that's why I said we need to see the full books properly, because
well, by the looks of it, we're lied to about that. But I mean, in answering your question, Tony, if you remember back in the 90s and 80s and 90s, if you weren't challenging, if you were a Liverpool manager and you got second or third, you were sacked. You were sacked.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that with Souness. We saw that with Evans. You saw that with Houllier. You were sacked. So what has changed? So that's what we're looking at there. And people are forgetting that, the Shankly way. We all talk about Shankly, but people tend to forget about it. And these channels tend to forget about the Shankly way. It's not about attacking fellow Reds. It's about, have conversation, have a debate, welcome the debate. Otherwise, what are you? And exactly what Gary, we're all Reds. There should be no arguing. It should be like, well, my favorite player is this. Well, I don't agree with you. My favorite player is that. It shouldn't be so personal. People shouldn't be, taking it personal. If I don't like these owners, don't have a hissy fit. I'm not, they're you don't know them personally. These billionaires don't fucking know you personally. They don't give a rat's ass what I think. So why are you defending them? Have a debate, open up and then, you know, if you are insulted by, you know, people having to go with journalists or friends that so happen to be your journalists, then don't be surprised when people add 2 and 2 and make out, okay, well, you're obviously what they call toe the liners. You're towing the corporate line to keep your exclusives with the club. And we've seen this time and time again. So you either are that, or you're a genuine Liverpool supporter who respects fellow Reds and respects their right to have an opinion and their right to protest when they want. That's a right that they have. You protested against the ticket prices, which I think ultimately affected the atmosphere for the game at the game in Anfield against Atalanta. The atmosphere was dreadful that night. And that was Klopp's last European night. It couldn't have been at a worse time. So you may think that you may cringe at the fact that there's a plane, you know, flying over Anfield. It didn't affect the atmosphere at Anfield at the time. We bet United 7-0 then. So, you know, I think people need to get up off their high horse and stop thinking that they have the God-given right to slate people for whatever opinion that they have. You know, that's my view on it.
Galway Red says they need to cut the hospitality seats. It's killing the atmosphere. I think that goes for every stadium, like especially when you look at finals as well. Like Wembley Stadium, for instance. Wembley Stadium holds what, 90,000 people, and like Liverpool will get 20,000 seats. Newcastle will get 20,000 seats, and the rest of it all goes corporate. Like it's bollocks.
The issue that you have, Galway Reds, regarding that, it was the first time that I did a hospitality ticket for the Atalanta game, and was the only way that I could actually get a ticket to go was through hospitality, because all the other tickets are done through ballots, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to actually get those fucking tickets now. And this is a well-known Champions Travel, who unfortunately I spent about 360 quid each, because myself and Baz went. Baz has been on the channel before, and we were told we had to pay another €1,000 for a day trip, and all we got was like sweet and sour chicken, a free program. Michael Thomas was the legend at the game. He was running about Brody's Lane or whatever, or Brody's Lounge or wherever. I didn't see him, and that was it. And we had padded seats, which weren't as I mean, I think my desk chair is probably a little bit more comfortable than that, but there was no way that it was worth 1,300 quid. But that was the only way, and Liverpool's site actually advertised these websites that are overcharging fellow Reds. So if you want to talk about ticket prices, talk about these season ticket holders that are reselling their tickets to the likes of Ticket Gum, who are making double the money, if not more, on a day trip, or someone that just wants to go and see a game. And it doesn't just affect, tourists. It affects everybody, including the locals.
No, I agree, mate. Ricky says most of the time when people moan about the owner, the club isn't going well on the pitch. We're arguably one of the best teams in Europe, and we still have a problem with them. What does that tell you? Fucking tells you a lot, doesn't it? He also says as well that if 2020 to 2021 was the worst title defense, then what City then this season? Well, yeah. I mean, like at the time it was, but yeah, City have fucking
very true. Very true. Good point.
Even Alex, hope you're still here, mate. I know this comment came through a bit ago, but I hope you're still here, pal. Gavin, for all the WWE fans in the community, we seen John Cena turn heel before Salah and Virgil van Dijk contract extensions. We need Triple H as our sporting director.
Oh, poor John Cena. He's got a solar panel on top of his head like me, so I can't,
Ricky says, I think you guys would like Coppish. They're a good channel. I think I've subbed to them.
I think I've listened to some of their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary Richard says, Adam and Seano are sound-minded. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that.
Sound off mind or sound minded?
Sound of mind.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'm sound of mind. But anyway, go on. Thanks.
Gavin Morgan, exactly, Sean. It's about staying on top and strengthening from a strong position. Agreed. Miscusi, the media every year talk about Liverpool's war chest. Yes, that's happened already, guys. That's happening already.
Yeah, that's happening as we speak.
Gareth Roberts needs to remember that without those out-of-towners who's listening to his content, he'd be unemployed. Stay humble, Bellend.
Yeah, but you see, what'll happen there is, right, because I know that this was thrown at Paul Machin there, I think about a year and a half ago, and someone had said, and again, I'm just quoting, so you needn't bother attacking me, Paul. Someone said that, you know, you're attacking people that are putting food in your children's mouth. Okay, now he took that personal and he said, you're bringing my children into this. And while maybe he should have worded it a bit better, the thing is, Paul Machin had brought up the guy's religion prior to that, but no one talked about that. They were talking about, oh God, this guy's after mentioning Paul Machin's children in an argument. And again, the narrative gets twisted, and you end up having a squabble over something stupid, and you forget what you're even talking about. But it's like they're talking about online behavior, yet they have online forums, yet they, you know, produce online viewing for people. So I don't get it. I don't get
it. If City get cleared, FSG will go. We spoke about that already, mate. FSG can't use that as an excuse then. Uncle Dave, I know you're not here, mate, but you said that this summer's going to be very interesting. It could be a very interesting summer, in all fairness. It really could. Bon, the summer transfer window will be the start of the end for FSG if they don't back Slot. There was something about him getting a new contract. Now, I may be a little bit controversial here, but I would like to see him do it again next year, or at least do something next year before giving him a new contract straight away.
Do what again?
Apparently, they're on about Arne Slot being given a new contract now.
Yeah.
I know if, you know, we're probably going to win the league. It's nailed on pretty much. 90-something odd percent that we win the league now, innit? Champions League, if he does the double and everything like that, fine. And all the treble, even then, I'd be like, this is not to be harsh or anything like that, but this is still not your squad, mate. It's Jurgen's. Like, have a good transfer window first. Like, what's the big rush to nail you down? Like, let's see what happens next year. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. Maybe I'm being overly harsh there. I'm not too sure.
I don't think you are, because it really all depends what's going to happen this summer. I mean, he's done extremely well. I mean, we're not taking away everything that he's achieved this season, but you know, you could easily say, the same way as the people said, well, Rafa won the Champions League with Houlier's team. You know, they could say the same. You know, well, Slot won the Premier League with Jurgen's team. Well, that's grand. That's fine. But he still had to do something. But I still don't think that warrants. I think that would kind of be there just to please the fans and say, well, look what we're doing. I think it's a bit too early to be offering him a contract. Let's see how we do this summer.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
We've done that one about you being from Scotland. We've done that one from Mary about Cara and SOS. Cara should have been sacked when he spat on that young girl.
Agreed.
Richard the Red, Cara is getting on my nerves as well. Has become a gobshite. Sorry.
Yeah.
M87. These so-called fans care more about their personal gains. They do, don't they? And Mary Nelson agrees with that by saying they don't want to lose their wee perks.
Yeah.
North Red. But if these top reds don't arse lick FSG, Redmen TV, etc., then they don't get a big shiny press pass or interview with Lucas Lavia in a broom cupboard at the AXA. I wish I could be a supporter like the Merchants of this world, even though I was a supporter when this boy was a mere twinkle in his dad's eye. Gavin Morgan's been a Liverpool fan for 38 years. He rectifies that further down. He went from loving and supporting the team to now becoming the finance expert. Well, I used to have in my bio on X, Twitter, that I was now a sports data analyst. Thank you, FSG. Ricky Star Mitchell knows the point that the fan was making. He's only kicked off because he knows the fan was correct and needed people to jump to his defense. That's in regard to what he said about the money situation.
Yeah.
He used to subscribe to them when they first started, and he saw the change in what they were like, and that's why I binned them off. Yes, but Nothing Red. Some of these Liverpool local supporters would be wise to remember Sean Cox, who nearly lost his life outside the ground, is a day tripper, out of towner.
Absolutely. God love him. And I mean, the club have been with the greatest of respect, because I don't think the stuff that goes on is a fair representation of Liverpool and Liverpool as a club. What the club have done for Sean Cox and his family has been amazing. And they continue, as far as I know, they continue to do that. So, you know, that just goes to show there's no differentiating between an out of towner and a local. We're all Liverpool fans, and yeah.
What? Sorry, mate. I'm just typing something.
Yeah.
If Slot gets Isaac and Cunha and a 6 and a left back, then he can maintain the title.
Not of ifs. But then you're forgetting, Gary, what do we do? Are we going to have to replace Salah? Are we going to have to replace Virgil? Are we going to have to replace Trent, Alisson, Kelleher?
Yeah. Eddie, welcome back, Eddie. Hope you're doing well, pal. He's starting to fall out of love of Liverpool Football Club. There's too much toxicity around the club. Do you know what, mate? Martin and Sean know this behind the scenes a little bit, but there's days when I can't be asked anymore. Not supporting the club, but it's just like every fucking other day there's just something I see online, and I'm just like, oh my god, like why can't we just support the club? Why does it have to be this big fucking thing of everything else that's going on around it? And I'm just like, oh, I wish I was a kid again.
Yeah, and look, I agree with you, because I mean, when I was doing Fenway We Come Not to Pay, which Adam and I did a kind of an interview, but kind of a thing on my Fenway We Come Not to Pay days, which may or may not be interesting to some of you, but certainly I learned an awful lot from that, and my experience of that with how things are within the fan base on social media. There is a lot of toxicity. There's toxicity on either sides, because I suffered toxicity on both sides. It wasn't just those who are pro FSG. It was those who were also anti FSG. They didn't agree with certain things. But there was a time where, Eddie, it took an awful lot out of me to even get up out of the bed and actually watch a game. I just wasn't. I just associated what I was experiencing, and I experienced quite a lot. But what I was experiencing and the shite that was going online with the club that I loved and supported since I was a kid. So it's very, very difficult. It's like trying to fall back in love with your ex at times. It's maybe I shouldn't have used that unit or that thing, but I think it can be very difficult when you're online and you see some of the shit that goes on, you know. But I mean, that's why I would be far quicker to, you know, to subscribe to Adam's channel than I would be those channels that I've mentioned, because I think it gives a fair analysis of really what's going on, and it's open to opinion. It's open to difference of opinion, where the others are like, this is our opinion. This is, you either accept this or you're not a red, and that's it. And that's toxic. And I mean, people would want to maybe study Bill Shankly and study the Shankly way and realize what they're doing is just completely the opposite. Completely the opposite. And I mean, I'm not saying for 1 minute Shankly would be rolling around in his grave, God rest him, if he saw the way football is now consumed by money. But I'm talking about togetherness. I'm talking about as a fan base. We've got to stop this toxic shit of, well, you're this and you're that and blah blah blah. It's bullshit. If I have a difference of opinion to Adam, that doesn't make me any less of a red than him. Doesn't make him any more of a red than me. Just has a difference of opinion. That's it.
Exactly.
Let's fucking grow up here and grow up.
Exactly. And great comment, Eddie, mate. Honestly. Ian King, Liverpool is a global footballing giant. As such, pro rata, it has a massive global fan base, which only strengthens Liverpool's self-sustainability model, which is the cornerstone of FSG's values. Agreed, mate. Gavin is would be very surprised if they sanctioned Isaac. Isaac is another PR like Bellingham. Yeah. Gary would sell Jota, Diaz, and Chiesa. I don't think you'll see Chiesa go. I could see Jota and Diaz going. Bon, with Bradley and Slot getting new contracts early, maybe FSG is learning from their mistakes over Trent, Virgil, and Salah. Maybe I agree with the Bradley one because that ties in with Trent moving on. But the Slot one, I just think it's a little early. I really do. I don't know. I don't even know how long of a contract he initially signed. If he only signed a 3-year deal, then yeah, fine, give him one. If he signed a 4 or 5-year contract, I'd want to give him another season. I don't know, but that's just me, mate. Like I said when I mentioned it, I could be completely and utterly wrong. Eddie, the thing is, I've got my ex back in my life. We've been engaged now for 5 years. The reason why I fell out of love with the club is because everybody kept talking about Isaac when he's injury prone. Yeah, mate, like
You've fallen out of Liverpool because of Isaac, talking about Isaac.
I agree with the whole Isaac thing. Like he is. Oh, look, I had it up the other day. Well, that's what she said.
Congratulations, though, about being engaged, man.
Yeah, congratulations, mate. Sorry, I didn't even say that. Sorry, that's my bad. That
I could have sold you a few rings. I'm like Lord of the Rings, mate. I'm like Ross out of Friends. I can put a ring on it, but I can't get them down the aisle.
Right. So I've got his injury record up here. So we won't go back all the way to the start of his career with Dortmund, but we'll go to Sociedad. So 2021, 2022, he missed 1 game, 4 games, and then his first season at Newcastle, he missed 18 games that first season. The second season, he missed 12 games. This season, he's missed 9 games. So he does pick up injuries fairly frequently. So
yeah, but it's like talking about Mamouche, being a suitable replacement for Salah. I mean, the guy had 1 good season, and they're already talking like as if, So I get where Eddie is coming from,
Mary, not Red. Everyone knows FSG has neglected their duty since we won the Champions League, and had they done their due diligence, the way this league has worked out, we literally have this league sewn up. I mean, there probably is a little bit of that, in all fairness. Who would have thought Man City will, dropped off as much as they have done? Who would have thought that Arsenal would lose a lot of their star forward, shall we say, at the same time? Yeah, that's why I'm saying give him another season, see what he does. Eddie, another one here. Gavin, Leipzig manager leaving end of the season. Could Klopp be eyeing Slot in front of? Fuck off, Gavin. There's no way that Arne Slot is leaving Liverpool to go to Leipzig.
Give him a contract, Slot.
Eddie, it's not only that, it's that it's sorry, my tongue tied. It's not only that is as well, it's that everybody keeps going on about the contracts. Like I said, these players are employees of the club, that you shouldn't be telling the boss is what they want to be paid. Yeah. So yeah, to a certain extent, but I think at the same time as well, you have to value the people there as well. Like, you know, say for instance, in my job, like if I was outperforming everybody else and we were doing like everyone got different wages and everything like that, then and if I was like the top performer, then I would want to be recognized for that.
I don't think any like with regards to kind of us. I mean, I think we talk about things.
Oh, Eddie, mate, sorry, Tom, before you go on, but Eddie, mate, there's a amount of times when I'm sat here, right, doing these lives with Seano, right, and before we go live, I'm like telling Seano, like, I don't want to talk about the contracts. I am fucking sick of death talking about the fucking contracts. Like, but it's like, it's all we've got to talk about, mate, and it is annoying. Yeah. It really is. But Seano can testify to that. Before we go live, I'm telling him, I'm like, I don't want to talk about the contracts.
Yeah. And I mean, and look, I get where Adam is coming from, because guess what? I don't want to talk about it, but because it's a Liverpool channel, we bring up stuff about Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? And if we didn't, then we would be, we're not always going to we're going to tell you warts and all. This is the situation, and this is what we think, and people can accept it, or people can give us a difference of opinion, and you're more than welcome to have that, Eddie. But I get what you're saying. It's annoying. We should be talking about getting number 20 over the line, and no, you don't need to apologize for anything, Eddie. Don't be silly.
No, mate.
Don't be silly. We genuinely, we just want the goddamn contract sorted. We're not telling, Liverpool Football Club, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to splash the cash. I'm not talking about, giving ludicrous amount of money for these players, but accept that they have contributed quite a lot and can continue to contribute to this club and the future of the club for maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 years to come with Trent. So, but certainly Virgil and I think Salah, at least give them 3 years. That's my view on it. But it's just fascinating that we're talking about Bradley. He's 2 years left in his contract, and we're making excuses as to why we haven't sealed the contracts with Salah, Virgil, and Trent. So yeah, we don't want to be talking about contracts. We just want it goddamn sorted.
Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys, while you're watching as well. It helps with the channel and everything like that. But where are we up to? Last one here, North Red. Sorry, Isaac Post injury for the cup. I think Isaac doesn't want to play against us, but for us, but not for 100 million. Yeah, I don't know, mate. Honestly, there's other players out there that I think Liverpool will go for in the number 9 before they go out and fork that much money for Isaac. The 3 that come to mind straight away for me is Cunha, Pedro. No, what's he called? João Pedro from Brighton.
Yeah.
And the other one that's popped up that I've had an eye on for a while since he became the Erling Haaland heir apparent at Salzburg is Benjamin Sesko. So I think, though, to be fair, Sesko wants to go to Arsenal. I think that's where he'll end up, but he's one to keep an eye on. But yeah, right then. Jono, one last topic to talk about before we call into it. What do you think about this new rule that's coming for the goalkeepers? So basically, from July the 1st, all leveling footballs, including amateur, is that the goalkeeper can only hold the ball for 8 seconds from catching it. So you've caught it 1, 2, 3, and then you have to have released it within the 8 seconds. If you don't do that, the opposition team get awarded a corner kick. Goalkeepers will be warned by the referee when they have 5 seconds left to get rid of the ball. The ref will raise their arm and start a visual countdown on their hand. So I presume that's like you hold that up and you go, like, do you know what I mean, like that. And then the next bit is, wasn't this already a rule? And it's like, well, yeah, kind of. It's rarely enforced. The current law states if a goalkeeper holds a ball for 6 seconds, then an indirect free kick is awarded to the opposition, but it don't never happens, does it? So yeah, what do you think?
I would agree with it as long as there's a big screen and there's the countdown. It goes did it, boom. If anyone watches countdown,
let's see what happens if the.
To be honest with you, like they're making a dog's bollocks out of football in general, completely with the rules and whatever. Let's get the fucking VAR. Let's get the officiating sorted. Let's have it to some sort of level that we can all be proud of, and we're not talking about scandals and who said this on a video and who did this, and we need to get back to basics, and we need to resolve those issues regardless of goalkeepers holding fucking balls and shit like that. Just get the fucking basics sorted. Just get the basics sorted. You brought in VAR. It's been a fucking disgrace. Where there's been more. I mean, like we only saw the whole thing with Michael Oliver.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, you wanted to mention that as well. Go on. Yeah,
I wanted to mention that whole thing with Michael Oliver was an absolute disgrace, and Millwall fans as well. What they were singing, an absolute disgrace. That's GBH. That. How the fuck did he not see that? Do you know what I mean? He was only a couple of yards away from the actual thing. How in the God on God's green earth did he see that or not see that and say that's a straight red card? How?
It's bad officiating. They can't obviously do what they need to do. As a former ref myself, like
you would give a red card all day long.
Yeah, if I saw it, yeah. To be fair, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't seen the game. I haven't seen the replay. I haven't seen the incident. I don't know where Michael Oliver is sat or stood. Sorry, shall I say? But what I will say, by the picture that I've seen, the fact that the goalkeeper comes out like that, you can obviously see his foot is high, even if you are stood behind, because you only see one leg. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll see his foot come through the guy's head and down again. So there's no fucking defending it. So yeah, it should have been a red card. I would have.
It could have killed him. It could have killed him. So whatever about a fucking goalkeeper holding the fucking ball for 8 seconds? How about not fucking topping off the guy with your foot? How about referees actually doing their job? Because we need to sort out the officiating. The officiating and the PGMOL need to be scrapped altogether. We need to bring in referees from the overseas, so it's not biased. They need to tweak VAR so that the system is helping them. You got to stop having biased goddamn officiating controlling VAR, because I don't see the point in when it goes from, and you don't see this in rugby. You don't see this in rugby, where if the referee is unsure of a decision, it goes to VAR. How does it then go back to the referee to then look at the sideline? I mean, I just don't get that. So and then having a referee from Greater Manchester refereeing Liverpool versus Man City.
Well, Sean, to be fair, I will give you a bit of a heads up about that. I don't know if you know, but a lot of the referees that ref in the Premier League are from that area.
Then tell them to go, get them over to Syria or wherever where they don't support club. Because it's whatever about this new rule. I mean, Pickford will be absolutely screwed. Because what he likes.
And David Raya as well. Who's the guy who plays for Aston Villa? Martinez.
Martinez. Yeah, he'd be screwed as well.
Yeah. Couple last comments here for you, mate. Ricky says he remembers when Mingley got done for that with us in the Europa League. I remember that as well. Born, they are destroying the game of all these rules changing. It does become a little bit confusing, what lie. Regarding Oliver, I knew something like that was going to happen. Oliver only gives reds to bald Dutchmen for handshakes. And Ian King, Isaac has suffered numerous groin, hamstring, and thigh injuries. Yes, he has. During his career, which we've just gone through. As such, there's a lot of mileage in the argument of availability is best ability. We cannot afford another Jota. Agreed, mate. Which is I don't think he'll end up at Liverpool. I really don't, guys. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching. The Martin GoFundMe for his son again is all on the bottom. It's the pinned chat on here, guys, right now. If you want to click that, read the story, and if you've got any available funds or anything you want to donate, anything like that, please do. I know it'll mean a lot to Martin and his family and to us as well, to be fair. So yeah, please go do that. It's also in the description of the video as well. So if you missed that as well. But other than that, guys, we're back tomorrow with a PSG preview video. Wednesday will be a match review video. It won't be a live because it's going to finish late, that game, innit? So I will get a video done and dusted for that. Other than that, there's nothing else planned for the channel, guys, other than a Sunday paper talk video. Do we play this weekend? We do, don't we?
Paper talk. What are we playing?
Can you do me that as like a jingle, and I'll just put it on my video every time I do?
What, paper talk? No, it's I'm actually doing a piss take off Zayn Malik's song called Pillow Talk. So I can't lay claim to that. It's a good song, actually.
Oh yeah, sorry, we play Southampton at weekend. Sorry.
Paper talk.
So Friday we'll have a preview out for the Saturday game, and then Saturday there'll be a match reaction. Sunday there will be what, Seano?
Paper talk.
Thank you. But other than that, guys, we'll be back with another video when I've got when there's anything else to talk about. If anything else pops off, I'll obviously be back. But other than that, guys, you what?
I should charge for that. Paper talk. I will record that if you want.
Yeah, go on for a laugh. We'll do it for a laugh. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys.